Plaintiff Carl Kitchenmaster says he started dating the defendant after they met online. Carl says when they first met, he told the defendant he liked to have sex 2 times a week, and she seemed fine with it. But after they moved in together, she stopped having sex altogether. He's suing his ex-fiancée today for living expenses. Defendant Elizabeth Rodriguez had a rough life because she was a victim of a drive-by shooting, but survived even after being shot 8 times. Elizabeth says when she met Carl, she fell in love with him and thought they were going to be married, but says they started to have problems because despite the fact that Carl had a sexual appetite, he was impotent. She's countersuing for house repairs.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I met Elizabeth Rodriguez on Yahoo Personals, July 06. I read her profile and I just seen a beautiful woman who had the same interests as I did. A Green Bay Packer fan, loved fishing, came up north, visited me. We had a great time. The first couple of visits, we talked about our interests. We had so much in common. Each had 4 kids. We lost sisters in auto accidents. I found out that Miss Rodriguez was a survivor.
Sir, yeah.
She was shot 7 times in her husband's arms, and he died. And
Wow.
I was
Hold on,
very.
I can give you a newspaper clipping.
This is about the
Sir,
drive-by
I've
shooting?
never always had an easy life. I am a victim of drive-by shooting. My husband was shot 2 times, I'm sorry, sir. And Your Honor, I was shot 8 times. I watched my husband die. I pray to God that one of us would survive to take care of our 3 children.
Let me ask, was this a random shooting?
That was a random shooting, sir.
Sorry to hear that. Go ahead. What did you want to tell me about
I'm
you all
very
meeting?
disappointed, first of all, sir, that Mr. Carl Kitchenmaster is bringing me here today. When I met him, we got along great. We had a lot in common. I wanted to be his wife. He gave me an engagement ring 4 months after we met. Soon after that, sir, he asked me to move into his new home with his son. I moved into his house, Your Honor, and I believe that Mr. Carl Kitchenmaster had a hard time getting used to my work schedule, my sleeping schedule. And
What was it?
my schedule at the time, Your Honor, I worked 10-hour shifts where I worked my way to 12 hours in the night. So I had to sleep during the day, and I believe he had a hard time with that.
How so?
Well, he started to say that I was ignoring him, Your Honor.
You wouldn't speak when you saw
No,
him?
Mr. Carl Kitchenmaster has a sexual appetite.
You didn't expect that?
Well, it was fine,
I think most people.
but he started to say that he started to say that I was ignoring his needs.
You weren't
And,
giving him enough. Did you?
Well,
You gave him something. I mean, you had some
I'm a very-
relations
yep.
sometimes.
yes, sir. I'm a very passionate person.
right.
In my family, we hug and kiss as we're.
No, I don't think that's what he was talking about. I don't think
Yeah.
that's the type of ignoring he was referring to.
Yes, Your Honor. But Mr. Kitchenmaster had a problem. He's impotent, Your Honor. And it got so bad that he had
That's
to
not
go
making
online.
sense, ma'am. That's not quite, but go ahead.
Well, he
tell
had
me.
to go online to buy pills to help him out.
Okay.
And he writes here that I
Let's
had
see
to
it,
help
please.
him out because of his age.
All right.
And he never would tell me when he would take pills.
He just sneak up on you.
Guess what?
I don't think the pills worked very much, sir.
All right, let me hear a little bit from him.
Your Honor, when I met her from July through October, sex was great. Everything was fine. There's 2 questions that she asked me. Am I a Christian man and what's my sexual habits? I told her.
That's what she asked when you all met.
Yes.
All right, that's
Yes.
Honor,
And
he
looking
said
for
once-
full
now it's a
disclosure. That's
problem.
good. And
He
you
said
what?
maybe twice. I'm sorry.
He
Twice
said
a
what?
month. He admitted to me.
A month?
That's what he said.
That about right?
I said week, but
Okay.
if
That's
I
a
had
big difference.
If I had a relationship at that time, I had none.
All right, but I'm sure she was asking, what do you expect?
Twice a week.
And
It
what
was
did
great.
she say?
I got letters saying how great it was in my evenings before we moved in.
Go ahead, I'll let you continue.
So November 06, I purchased a house, and Elizabeth agreed to help out with shared expenses. And within the first 30, 45 days, things changed. No sex.
Ma'am, is he telling the truth? You changed up on him?
Not quite like that, sir.
Did you change up on him? Did
No,
you change the routine?
Not that I know of, sir.
Not that you know
Well,
of.
before I met him, I have a habit of listening to Christian radio at night, and he seemed to be okay with it until I moved in with him.
Okay.
And then he didn't like it.
All right. He didn't like you listening to Christian radio, as he thought you were going to adhere to the Bible, which says no sex before marriage.
Oh, probably.
You do understand now what happened.
There was more.
And when you met her, she was a Christian.
We both are Christians.
Well, you all just continuously sin. Because sex before marriage is sin, right?
Yes, it is, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you all just kept sinning. Go ahead, sinners.
There was some other
I didn't want to sin as much.
That's why you. Let's get to these living
Yes, sir.
expenses. What was the agreement on living expenses?
Could I explain the bedroom?
Go
etiquette,
ahead.
Please. The
Go
Christian
ahead,
music
sex fiend. What?
would come on while we're sleeping throughout the night, and I have to get up by 6 in the morning and go to work. I have to listen to music, and this is November, December, with the window open in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the fan going on, and she's cuddling in her comforters, and I'm freezing, listening to Christian music all night. I had problems, yes. And no sex.
Living expenses you're suing her for, sir.
Yes, the 26 months she lived with me, the agreement was $300 per month. That's a third, and I paid the 2/3.
And when did you all expect to get married? Had you all set a date? When did she move in with you first?
November 06.
All right. Had you all set a date for marriage?
No.
Your Honor.
How long did you expect to remain engaged?
I had to wait till her divorce was final, 6 to 12 months later.
So you all made this agreement that she would pay $300 a month. How long was that to last? Throughout the marriage? What?
Throughout the living expenses, yes.
Throughout the
A
marriage.
shared living.
All right. And if she didn't pay her $300, what would happen while married?
Probably divorce her with the problems that we with the
Just
problems
trying
we,
to understand.
the problems we have.
Just trying to understand. So she agreed to pay you $300, and did she pay you?
Out of 26 months, about 5.5 months.
And so the balance is over
it's-
$5,000,
yes,
and
it's
so that's
excessive.
why you're only suing for the maximum that
Yes,
you
Your
can
Honor.
get here. Ma'am, he says you all had an agreement, even though you were engaged, to pay $300 a month. And quite frankly, ma'am, I believe him, because he said he would not only sue you, he would divorce you
Yes, sir.
if you were married
Your Honor.
and came up short on that $300.
Your Honor, not quite like that.
Tell me.
When I moved in, we talked about living expenses. Yes, I agreed to help him with all expenses.
Was there a certain
his
amount?
Fiance.
Was there a certain, ma'am?
No,
was there a
sir.
certain amount?
He said that he lived with his wife for 28 years. She did not work ever, and he would never be used to a female giving him money, but that he did expect me to help with
Okay.
living expenses.
Now, did you pay for 5 months?
I gave him checks. I get paid weekly, sir, and I would give him my work checks.
What was that amount?
Anywhere from $350 a week.
You would give him $1,200 a month.
No, I would just give him one check, sir.
And you did that for 5 months?
I'm not sure how long I did that.
Okay, but every time you gave him money, it was $300 and something dollars.
Not
And
quite
this-
like that, sir. I also brought all the expenses of the household, everything that goes into cleaning the house, I also did house painting for him, bought materials for the house. I have tons of receipts here to prove that.
And what was that agreement?
He said help him with living expenses.
Okay, so
I was his fiance.
How is this relevant to the agreement?
It proves that I spent more than what I gave him. Not only would I give him once in a while my checks, I would give him cash.
Okay. What is this again? These receipts? You gave me like 40 pages of receipts.
Yes, sir.
What are these receipts
It proves
for?
that I consistently, throughout the relationship with Mr. Kitchen Master, always did my part.
Sir, what was your understanding regarding anything beyond the rent or the $300?
There was no agreement with it.
And did she consistently give you extra?
No. I know she bought a couple set of curtains, a gallon of paint, and maybe a couple other miscellaneous things, but nothing that could be 40 pages ever. Ever. I got $9,000 worth of receipts here to show you what I stuck improvements in my home.
Okay, we're not going to go item by item to see what extra you all were spending on each other. And your cost of home repairs, ma'am, I'm not going to grant either of you anything. You lived like husband and wife, so you'll act like husband and wife. I'm not going to go nickel and dime about who owed what while you all were living together in a premarital state. That was your status. We are engaged and we're going to marry. So let's act like we're married. Let's spend money together like we're married. Let's live like we were married. Just because you didn't get none, you can't suddenly say, oh no, give me my money back. No, that's not how this goes. Both of your cases are dismissed. Put your hand down. Have a good day.
I care deeply about her, but I have to move on.
God bless him and the rest of his life.
Thank you.